Good morning, all. Today's webinar is on hot weather concreting, and construction philosophies webinar today is in association with DH Academy, Cochin. DH Academy is an academy for the aspiring civil engineers to make them industry ready. As you all might probably agree, the industry is now in short of competent engineers. Due to many factors, the survival skills of the young engineers have drastically declined during the last couple of years. DH Academy is put together by a group of dedicated professionals in view of the current industry scenarios. Their intent is to provide hands-on training to the engineering graduates before they start their hunting for jobs. I would like to welcome all panel members and the viewers attendees to our exclusive discussion on hot weather concreting. Coming back to the topic, the solid characteristics of concrete makes it desirable for a contractor or a practicing engineer. Concrete technology has developed in the last decade and is now a domain that is greatly improving. But regardless of all those achievements in the field, we still have many challenges while choosing the right quality product and the right methodology. It is now discovered that the variations in temperature has a big effect in concrete in the short and long run. Viewers, we have with us Dr. Anil Joseph, Managing Director of Geostructurals Private Limited. He is a structural engineer by profession, and he's an expert who has extensive experience in concrete structures. We also have Dr. Elson, who is an Associate Professor of MA College of Engineering. He's an expert in concrete technology and a scholar specialized in special concrete and durability of concrete. And we have Engineer Shaiju Nair, who is a concrete expert with over 22 years of experience in concrete production. He is the CEO of DH Academy. I would like to once again welcome all to the show. Welcome viewers, welcome panelists. I would like to call in Dr. Elson first. Dr. Elson, is weather a factor? Dr. Elson.
Yeah, it's a big factor in the quality of concrete. So I will just, with a few slides, I will just explain what are the issues that what we are expecting with the concrete. So can you just open the share screen?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. So actually it's a topic for few hours, but I will try to, yeah, can you see it?
Yes, good.
Yeah, so I'm trying to finish that within 5 minutes with a few slides. So what is the problems of this hot weather concreting? So the major problems we can list, and I will tell you how that will affect the life of the concrete. So when you are talking about hot concrete, what's hot concrete? Are we in the area where hot weather is there? Yes, because our concrete is designed as per the code. The concrete mix design is done at 27 degree plus or minus 2 degrees centigrade. So what the temperature we are facing above that comes under hot weather. So the properties can affect. That's not a stringent rule, but so the main problem are the decrease in setting time. That is because of the temperature is an accelerator of cement hydration reactions. So the setting time will decrease so that the workability of the concrete will decrease, and the workability loss, that means the workability with the time also will decrease, and the evaporation rates also will be high because the concrete temperature is high as well as the ambient temperature is high. So the evaporation loss will be high. And that will be more severe if there is wind and the relative humidity is less. So again, the ambient temperature can increase because cement hydration is exothermic reaction. So the temperature will increase inside the concrete, so the material will expand. So with the time, this come to the normal temperature, so it will contract. That can lead to internal cracks. So these are in short, the issues. So I will say you, in our normal practice, all of us know, those who are practicing in the field know that the plastic shrinkage or the initial cracks are the major concern of hot weather. So normally in a site, that concern is limiting with that idea. If you can arrest the plastic shrinkage cracks, then there is no problem. We are not going beyond what is happening inside the concrete because of the hot weather. So the plastic shrinkage cracks, there are many ways to solve it. Sprinkling the water, covering the concrete with a cover. So normally what happens, these practices are happening after a stage when the plastic cracks starts. They start sprinkling water, they will cover the concrete with the plastic sheets, and people start to move over the concrete. So again, that can lead to additional cracks in concrete because of the disturbance. So what one of the best way to solve it that they cover the concrete as the concrete proceedings. We can have the plastic sheets in the form of rolls. So when you start from end, you just roll this, just like we are using the rolled paper in our normal functions to cover the table. You can just throw it. You can see that mason is finishing the concrete as well as she is covering the area. That's one of the things. Okay, I'm not going to issues. So what happened to the concrete? So so it's a graph shows the concrete at 3 different temperatures. So at 25 degrees centigrade, the same concrete shows around 85 mm of slump. The same concrete at 40 degrees shows a slump of only 40 degrees centigrade, 40 mm. So and at 25 degrees, the same concrete gives a slump of around 40, retention of around 30 minutes. After that, it was 20. But at 40 degrees centigrade, the concrete stiffened or the workability is completely lost within 5 minutes. So normally in our sites, this is overcome by using more water in the concrete. When you are using more water to get the workability or retain the workability, the strength as well as the durability of the concrete will be decreased. Then when you are going to the strength, at higher temperature, the concrete strength will be higher initially. But all the studies shows that at the longer range, if you are going for a 28-day strength, the strength will be less for the concrete exposed to high temperature. And especially the early few days are more important. If you are exposed to higher temperature in the initial stage, days, that will be more significantly affected the temperature. Again, not only the strength, when you are talking about durability, I will show you some pictures which is taken at different temperatures of cement paste. You can see that at 5 degrees, 15 degrees centigrade and 25 degrees centigrade, the microstructure of the cement paste is intact. But at higher temperature, 35 and 40 degrees, you can see lots of pores inside that concrete. All the black marks are the holes or pores inside the concrete. So in backscattered, it is very clear. 5 degree, it is more intact, 25 degree more porous, and at 40 degree, it is still more porous. When the porosity is more, all the degradation components will go inside the concrete and degradation will take place. So the high temperature is not only a problem of the initial workability or the initial cracks, but it affects the entire life of the structure. It affects the strength as well as durability of the concrete. So again, the hydration or evaporation takes from the outside. So the outside or the cover plate will be more porous. So the corrosion, all the durability issues will be accelerated because of the hot weather concrete. So there should be special precaution to be taken care when you are doing the concrete in a hot weather, as it affects the strength as well as the durability of the structure significantly.
Dr. Anil Joseph, when we say weather effect, is my voice audible? Can you hear me?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, when we say weather effect, it is practically hard to detect whether the damage is due to climate factor. How do we understand the nature of the effect?
Say, generally, when hot weather concreting, there is a temperature that's a governing criteria. It's not only the temperature. If suppose we are having a mass concreting, so we have to take precaution. Like as pointed out by Elson, the temperature generally specified when we are making a design is 27 degree plus or minus 2 degree. Now, IS 7861 Part 1 1975 is the one which gives the Indian Standard Codes for guidelines for hot weather concreting, where they say that definitely for whatever be the type of concreting, if the temperature is more than 40 degrees Celsius, we have to take precaution. And suppose if you have a large volume of concrete happening, where suppose a foundation concrete of large volume, then the heat of hydration generated, it will be generally 56 calories per gram of concrete. So the temperature will be extremely high. So for that also, we will have to take precautionary action to prevent the crack formation. The major difference is that the bottom, the temperature won't be changed, will be there, and the top will be affected, which will lead to shrinkage cracks as pointed out in the presentation. So that we have to be careful about. So these are the few factors, and generally what they do is that we'll go for precautionary measures during a hot weather concreting.
Well, thank you, Dr. Anil Joseph. Coming back to Engineer Shaiju Nair, production part is crucial for the concrete. When is it required to have an extra consciousness? How do you classify the weather conditions? Can you explain?
Yeah. As rightly pointed out by Elson sir and Anil Joseph sir. First of all, understanding hot weather condition, that is very important. So as per IS, he mentioned that 7861, hot weather means the ambient temperature above 40 degree. Or there is one more criteria. The temperature of concrete at the time of placing, if it is reaching 40 degree, then also we should consider that as hot weather. Not only that, just ambient temperature. So it is very essential and key to control concrete temperature. And this is as per Indian standards. ACA 305, they have given a little more authentic, or what we can say, a very good explanation for this hot weather. So what they are considering two aspects. One is accelerating the rate of moisture loss. Accelerating the rate of moisture loss and the rate of cement hydration. These two criteria. So these two criteria basically governed by high ambient temperature, high concrete temperature, low humidity, high wind velocity, solar radiation, etc., etc. This is as per ACI combination. So what they are suggesting, if these 5 items, if it exceeds the limit, then definitely the concrete is going to have a higher temperature, and which will have some adverse effects on durability part and all. And now that is the main thing. So how we can control the temperature of concrete, that is very important. So we all know concrete around 70 to 80% concrete is having aggregates, then cement, water, everything is there. So if we can control the temperature of each and every ingredient, then naturally the temperature of concrete will be reduced. Suppose if it is a batching plant, just to take an example of a batching plant, we are getting concrete from batching plant. Then if we are keeping the aggregates in a shed, then that means that temperature of the aggregate will be little bit less. And number two, controlling the temperature or reducing the temperature of water, it is very, very easy actually. And for that purpose, you know, in all major sites, they will have chilling plant. In chilling plant, what will happen? The temperature of water at the outlet of the chilling plant, that means that water is going to the batching plant. That temperature is around 4 degree or 6 degree, so that we can reduce the temperature of water. And adding ice up to 75, not ice directly, ice flakes, it will also help to reduce the temperature of concrete to certain extent. So if we have to actually consider that into 3 parts. 1, pre-pour, 2, during pour, and 3, after pour. So if you are giving importance to all these 3 sections, then we can make a durable concrete in hot weather also.
All right. Thank you, Dr. Engineer Shaiju Nair. Dr. Elson, the weather in the region has drastically changed. According to the study, the annual mean temperature in India has increased by 1.2 degrees Celsius since the beginning of the 20th century. In fact, 2016 was the second warmest year on record with the temperature of 1.26 degrees Celsius higher than its previous year. Moreover, the winter of February in 2017 was hottest in recorded history with temperature of 2.95 degrees Celsius higher than the baseline. What would be the effect of it on the overall quality of concrete? Can you illustrate with few instances?
Yeah. So not only that, the temperature worldwide or all India, it is increased. Not only that, even the day-to-day variations. If you are considering now itself, the night the temperature may be 20 degrees centigrade, and in the midday it may be 35, sometimes 36. And in Palakkad, like that, it can go beyond 40. If you take the case of Delhi, that is much higher. So all these variations will affect the durability of concrete. So what we have to do is we have to take the proportion. As the code even says that 40 degrees centigrade as the hot weather concrete, but as Shaiju mentioned, and Anil sir also mentioned, the temperature of the concrete is also important. When the ambient temperature increases, the temperature inside the concrete also increases. And otherwise also for the same time rate, after few hours, the temperature inside the concrete will be increasing. So whatever the condition, we need our temperature of the concrete to be under control. So on that increase in the temperature will affect the quality of the concrete to a great extent. So what we can do is there are lots of ways, as Shaiju was mentioning, control the temperature of the ingredients is one way.
Dr. Carlson will come back to that in a later stage, actually. Dr. Anil Joseph, in fact, the rising temperature is a major concern. What are the building code requirements for placing concrete in a hot weather scenario?
Say, as the guidance they give as per IS 1786, they have told that, like pointed out by Shaiju, so there are three procedures. One is before pour, pre-pour protection. So like what they generally do in all the sites is that we ask them to sprinkle water. So there are paints available which can be used for reducing the heat on the element. Or suppose we have a conveyor belt that can be protected during a batching plant, that process can be done. But in general sites, what we do, we ask them to sprinkle water before pouring the concrete so that that initial heat, which is the formation layer, can be controlled. And as soon as the concrete is completed, so it was shown that a polythene cover, because there are different things, because curing is a very vital part. So curing is where the strength gain is happening. So we have to be very careful about the curing process during especially high temperature, where we have to immediately start, say after generally 3 hours or once the initial setting time is over, they have to start sprinkling water. And then
all right, Doctor. We will come back to the controlling techniques later. Actually, I have to go back to Engineer Shaiju Nair. Various adverse effects on the properties and serviceability of concrete are brought on by the hot weather. What are the largely affected areas according to you?
See, mainly in the beginning itself, Elson sir shown some interesting slides. Slum loss, that's the main concern. Because see, generally nowadays we are producing concrete from one place and we are transporting that to other place. And that slum loss, if slum loss is happening, means generally there is a tendency to add more water. So we know if you add more water as per Abraham's law, the strength will get reduced and durability get affected. So, and the second thing, water demand itself will increase. Water demand itself will increase in hot weather. So we have to be very careful in that matter.
Well, going to the prediction part of it, actually, prediction of temperature, we would start with Mr. Shaiju Nair. Engineer Shaiju Nair, every concrete producer must adjust their product for a very hot weather conditions in the summer and cold temperature in the winter. What advice do you have for concrete manufacturers to make the aggregate temperature maintain its permissible limits?
Especially aggregate temperature, what my suggestion will be to keep the aggregate for few weeks in under shade and sprinkle water intermittently. See, there is a word called a heat of fusion. Heat of fusion means if one substance changes from one stage, that means solid to liquid or liquid to gas, it will absorb some amount of heat. That is called heat of fusion. Because of that, some amount of heat will be taken away from these aggregates. So we have to keep that in a shade before directly putting into our mixer for or batching plant. That is the main thing, and sprinkling water. In that way, we can control the temperature of aggregates.
All right, Dr. Anil Joseph, your take on it.
Yeah, generally what happens in order to control the temperature, there are different ways. Like one is which is suggested the aggregate. Again, the type of cement is used an important factor, because if you go for OPC cement, the heat of hydration is much higher. So it is better to go for PPC cements in case of hot weather concreting, where the presence of fly ash or the slag will try to reduce the heat of hydration form. So that is another aspect, the type of cement which you are choosing. And instead of going for high strength cements, it is better, say, like we have 33, 43, 53 grade concrete. Now 43 and 53 are common. So instead of, if you are doing a high weather, going to plan for a hot temperature concrete, which is more than 40 degrees Celsius, it is better to go for a 43-degree PPC cement when you are taking the selection of the cement. Now the aggregates is, as pointed out, it can be either sprinkled with water or some protective measures, or even ice flakes has been used. It's liquefied nitrogen is also being used to bring down the temperature. So it should be such that the ice flake should fully melt during the process of mixing, so that it should not be there. What they point out is that a 2-degree drop of water temperature will reduce the temperature of the concrete by 0.5 degrees Celsius. So there are equations available as per IS 7861, which gives that knowing the temperature of each ingredient, we can work out what is the temperature of the concrete to be formed. And if we can work out how to make the proportion of the temperature of the elements accordingly, so that the aggregate, water and the other elements can be brought down and the heat of concrete can be brought into the control situation, so that the adverse effect pointed out by Elson sir of shrinkage cracks and the formations and widening, which is a quite common phenomena when we are using concrete at high temperature without initial curing, can be avoided.
Well, so going to the controlling part of it, you all hear me, Dr. Anil Joseph?
Yeah, we are.
Fine. All right. Engineer Shaiju Nair, damage to concrete caused by hot weather can never be fully eased. That's a fact. What are the potential measures that can be adopted for controlling its effect? Can you explain the various measures that at the production phase?
See, now we explained how to control the temperature by means of ice weights, by means of controlling temperature of aggregates, etc. But transportation part, generally for bigger projects and all, we are getting concrete through transit mixers. So covering that entire transit mixer with Heisen cloth and watering it, that also will reduce the temperature of that big drum. Because while rotating that, inside some friction is again coming, because of friction also heat is generated. So if you are covering that transit mixer drum with a reflective coat painting, or if you are covering that with Heisen cloth and watering it, that also will reduce the temperature of concrete. And the main thing, suppose that concrete came to our site, that Anil Joseph sir mentioned that, if it is coming to our site, that preparation of subgrade is very important. We have to sprinkle water before doing any concreting at these high temperatures. So in that way also we can reduce the temperature.
Well, Dr. Elson is back, I guess. You can continue with your opinion.
Okay, so one thing is that, and if it is a ready mix plan, as Anil sir was talking about, we can go for mineral admixture like fly ash or GGBFS. So if you're going for GGBS, we can even go for higher replacement. 40 to 50% replacement with OPC is possible with that. So in that way also we can do it.
All right, Dr. Anil Joseph, most of the time, especially in the Indian scenario, maintaining quality is a tough exercise indeed. Despite of all the efforts that an engineer takes at the site, shortfalls might occur due to various reasons, including the manual errors. Coming back to the temperature factor, what are the practical measures generally espoused in regulating the temperature effect?
Practically, like we saw that, because there is a very limited way we can control the temperature, so you can even select the day. I will suggest that a bright, windy, sunny day is more harm to concreting than a overclouded, say it's a cloudy day with a lower temperature is a better thing for the concrete to make. We all have the apprehension that it's a very bright, sunny day, windy day. Wind is another big factor because the wind takes the water at the top. So what will happen? There is a differential behavior between the bottom and the top, which leads to a lot of shrinkage crack. So preferably the type of day is also a overcast day without not direct pouring of water is in fact better for the concrete. And one more thing which we'd like to share with the young engineers and the viewers is that most of the time we all take all precaution during the concrete, but we fail to do curing. So after the concrete is over, they feel that everything is over, and then for the next day might be Sunday, nobody will bother, and by Monday when they come to the site, it's all full of shrinkage cracks on the top. So there is all scattered crack, and everybody becomes scary of that. So it's very important, the initial phase of the concrete. Concrete is an element which grows from the day of its birth, when the mixing is completed, and it gains in strength. It doesn't have any strength, it is just creating load onto the element, and it's only like a baby, it gains strength. And by the 28 days only, it reaches the target size. So it's a growing phase. So initial phases and initial ponding and curing is a vital part, which is generally missed in the industry, because after doing a 300 bag of concrete or something on the roof of our structure, they feel very happy. They will have a party after that, and they forgot about the curing part. So curing is the most vital part which we can do that, and there are different methods of curing. I think my August friends who are there will be sharing that knowledge also along with us. So it's what I would like to share is that do more thrust for the curing. It's as important as placing concrete and all the precautionary measures we have suggested. Especially if we are having a hot weather concreting, we have to make sure that proper curing is done. Generally, there are various methods. I think Shaiji and Elson will highlight upon that, and I will also add to the discussion.
All right. Dr. Elson, we have discussed about the weather factor effect. The practical damages and the building costs were also discussed in the listing of concerns. How important is the choice of a grade of cement in this regards?
So grade of cement plays a very big role, because normally people are having the practice of going for higher grade cements. That means 53 grade of cement. So that 53 grade means the fineness of the cement is too high, so that the more reactions will be there, more heat will be generated, and the temperature of the concrete will be high. So if the temperature is high, it is always go for lower grade cement, 43 grade cement or 33, or it is always advantageous to go for the blended cements, as Anil sir was mentioning, that PPC cements. So PPC or PSC cements, the grade corresponding to only 33. That should confirm the requirements of OPC 33 grade. That means initial reactions are slow. So going for a lower grade cement or blended cement is best for hot weather concreting.
Engineer Shaijina, would you like to add anything to it?
I will share one practical example, which is from Cochin. Cochin, we had a major project, that LNG terminal. In that, 70% was slag. The grade of concrete was M40. Out of that M40, we used around 480 something total cementitious content. Out of that, 80% was this slag. The main reason is, as pointed out by this Elson sir, to control the temperature, because initial stage OPC only will react. That slag will be little inactive in the initial stage. It need an activator, and later stage only it will react. So that initial temperature will be less. So always, as far as cement part is concerned, go for a blended cement during this high temperature. That is very, very essential and critical. And one more thing, Anil Joseph sir was mentioning regarding curing. It is very, very important. Now, the latest definition, that means under this COVID-19 situation, it is this curing is a forced home quarantine for water inside concrete. Water is not allowed to go outside. That is the thing. So any method which can retain water inside curing, that can be inside concrete, can be considered as curing. That means in the beginning also we mentioned covering with a plastic sheet immediately, sprinkling water at the initial stages, and some chemicals, that is means curing compounds. All this, what they are doing is they are not allowing the water from concrete to come out. That means there will not be any plastic shrinkage cracks, because in our area 70 to 80% problem is just because of these plastic shrinkage cracks. That means when cracks happening when concrete is in the plastic stage. If it is hot weather, definitely concrete is just like an egg. It is supposed to crack if not treated properly. So main thing, curing. That is very, very important.
Dr. Anil Joseph. Yeah.
So in addition to that, we can go for retarders. In hot weather concrete, there are retarding admixtures are there that will retard the hydration of the cement. So the initial temperature will be high. We can prolong the workability of the concrete for a long time. And
Right.
one more thing, when you are going for a hot weather concrete, it is always advisable to go for a little more workable concrete. So a little more high slump also will do, because the slump loss will be lower. So using a retarder is another way. And nowadays, the super plasticizers with retarders, retarding effect is available in the market. So that also will help in hot weather concreting.
Dr. Anil Joseph, would you like to add anything to it?
Yeah, generally this is slump loss is a big problem. So every 11 degrees centigrade rise of temperature, they estimate that the 25 mm slump loss will be there. So especially when you are making, so many complaints generally happen when we have a ready mix concrete coming from a batching plant at a further place to the site, and after the pouring, the confusion is there because they might have prepared it extremely well at the mixing plant, but we have to take care that during the transit also it is controlled, and during the pouring also it is controlled. So we have to make sure that the loss of slump has to be corrected by, as suggested by any retarding admixtures or suitable mixtures to maintain the workability. So that's a very vital factor which has to be taken into consideration. And one more thing which we are talking about curing is that membrane curing is a common phenomenon which is used in especially Middle East countries, or now in many of our projects also we are using that, where as soon as the concreting is done, a surface coat is provided so that as pointed out by Shaiju, with the current scenario, the quarantine of water is a very important thing. You should not put more water from outside, which will reduce the strength of the concrete as pointed by Elson during his initial presentation, but we should not allow, once the hydration, the water to move out from the top also. So that protection work is a very essential fact, and if it can be maintained and cured properly, they suggest that minimum 10 days curing is suggested as per IS 7861 for hot weather concreting.
Thank you.
One more thing, so as I was talking about the ready mix concrete. So recently in the last 6 months, we were doing a project with a ready mix plant in industry in Ernakulam. So what we observed is this initial slump, the slump at site, the time, everything from the ready mix plant itself, all the sites. So we conducted, took the results of almost 1,000 samples, and we found out at night time, the slump loss will be much lower and the temperature is low. So if the temperature is high, doing the concrete in the night or early morning also will help to reduce the initial temperature of the concrete to a great extent.
Well, we have few questions from our attendees. Mr. Chandan Adhikari has asked, during concrete mix design calculation, is there any check to predict core temperature of concrete for selection, proper cement and binder proportion? Dr. Anil Joseph, this goes to you.
Can you come again about the question?
During concrete mix design calculation, is there any check to predict core temperature of concrete for selecting proper cement and binder properties, proportion?
Yeah, so we can work it out. So even IS 7861 has given a equations where the temperature of the concrete can be worked out based on the type of ingredient and the elements and the heat of all elements, like what are the components which we are going to put. Based on that, we can work out the equation and arrive at the temperature of the concrete.
Dr. Elson John.
Yeah, we can. Again, we can calculate it. And during the precautions, what we have to do is, while doing especially one of the major factors is the admixture in the concrete manufacturing to get the workability as well as the workability retention. So the efficiency of the admixture or the cement admixture interaction is very sensitive to temperature. So that factor to be considered, and for varying the temperature, we can go for a range of superplasticizers, because say, if it's a big project, that same concrete is going to be poured over months or even the entire year we are using. So that's again, as far as the cement is concerned, go for blended cements as we discussed. Engineer
Saijun on the production side.
Yeah. See, always we can predict that temperature of concrete. There is a formula, Anil Joseph sir mentioned that. The main thing is that see, whenever we are doing trials, at lab means it is in the ideal condition. But whenever we are actually executing the project, then only all these problems will come. So the best part is that we should have some 3 or 4 trials at lab, as well as field trials, actual trials. That means the key factor is how much time your transit mixer is taking from your plant to the site. And that also will vary. Morning hours, maybe traffic will be very less, and maybe around 10 o'clock the traffic will be very peak, so that some delay will happen. So you have to consider all those factors and have sufficient field trial and take the temperature. That is the one best way to adopt. And one more thing is very important now, that is, we have a mixed design. For a particular grade. Say, I mentioned one example of LNG project. The grade of concrete was M40. But according to the weather condition, according to the this thing, we have to make some correction in that. Suppose now it is very hot in Kerala, and yesterday there was heavily raining in some parts of Kerala. So what will happen? Suppose some aggregates are coming, the aggregate will be wet. So immediately we have to apply that moisture correction. Then only before executing the actual pour. That is very important. In some of the, I will not say all, many of the sites that practice is not being done. And because of that, there is always a complaint. In hot weather, we are getting good results. But in rainy season, we are not getting good results. The reason is, in rainy season, their aggregates, their fine aggregates, everything is having moisture, and they are not deducting that water and making the correction. So that correction in mixed design is very, very critical and crucial.
All right, Engineer Shaiju Nair, once again, actually the question comes to you. Mr. Rupak S has actually asked this question to you. Shaiju sir, we used to practice late finishing of concrete as a part of post-pour control of shrinkage crack and consider it to be a critical part of concrete pour. Membrane curing is not practiced for slabs. What is your take on this practice?
Membrane curing has to be practiced. And see, membrane curing means, now suppose we are covering it with a polythene sheet. We can consider that also as a membrane curing. That IS code, it clearly says membrane curing, but nobody has taken effort to expand that. But we are doing that, right? We are putting a plastic sheet, covering it immediately. That means, see, the setting time of cement, I am just taking an example, say around 240 minutes or something like that. And we are adding aggregates, we are adding retarders, we are adding plasticizers, everything to that cement. That means the setting time will be 6 hours or something like that. And what you are supposed to do is that you make a small scratch in the concrete and just check whether it started setting or not. And immediately you cover it with a plastic sheet. That itself is a membrane curing, and it is very effective. We have to do that. Only problem is that maybe sometimes there are chances that your footprints will come over that, but you are going to put some tiles, everything on that. So there is no problem in that. Do it immediately.
Well, Dr. Anil Joseph, adding ice flakes would ultimately raise the water cement ratio, which were always also taken care of. How do we address that issue? Mr. Vishal Bharadwaj has raised this concern.
Yeah.
Dr. Anil Joseph.
Yeah, when you are adding the ice, we know what will be the conversion of the water. So instead of replacement as water, we are using the ice flakes. So suppose we need particular volume of water, it will be converted into ice as well as some component of water. So that by the time the mixing proportion is completed, the ice will be melted and that will become part of the water cement ratio. It's not that we are adding ice just to lower that, but it will be converted. Like I pointed out, if we can able to bring the water temperature by 2 degrees Celsius, the temperature of the concrete will come down by 0.5 degrees Celsius. So we can work out that equation and ice can be provided. And one more thing which I would like to add is that generally when we are, the timing of concrete is a very important aspect as pointed by Shaiju and Elson, because whenever we have mass concreting, like suppose a pier cap or a huge raft foundation, so it is always better to do it in the night time. and have to take additional precautions because the heat of hydration generated is 56 calories per gram of cement. So when the volume of cement increases, the heat will be extremely higher. So generally, so if say, if I take my young memory, when I was, my father was a civil engineer who was being part of the Idiki Dam construction project. So for the casting of those lift, when they were doing that Cherdoni Dam, they used to do ice flakes at that time to bring the temperature down because they were having mass concrete going on. So it is very essential we go for mass, when you are going for a mass concrete also, the temperature heat will come up. It is not only the outside temperature, but heat generated due to the cement content also has to be worked out and suitable precaution has to be taken.
Well, Dr. Elson, is there any initial surface water curing after concrete quality? Question by Prashant Yerunkar.
Can you repeat once again?
Is there any initial surface water curing affect concrete? I mean, there is a problem here. Is the surface water curing going to affect concrete quality? Is what the question is, I believe.
We should start the curing as early as possible. Once, as Engineer Shaidu was mentioning, when the setting starts itself, we can start. Or even if you are covering with a thin polythene sheet, we can pour the water over that in the initial hours itself. So what happens that the specific heat of water is too high. So when you are pouring water on the surface, it will prevent the heating up of the concrete, or it can absorb the temperature from the concrete. And when you are talking about the normal concrete, at normal temperature, say 25 degrees centigrade, if you are casting a concrete block of say 1 m³ dimension, 1 meter width, 1 meter height, and 1 meter width, and after few hours, if you measure the temperature at the center of the cube, it will be as high as 70 or 80 degrees centigrade. So that much internal temperature is generating in the concrete. So if you're going for surface curing, the specific heat can be reduced and it is better for the concrete. Only thing is that in the initial, before the settling time, if you pour the water fast, it can mix up with the concrete. That should be avoided.
Just I want to add one more thing.
Yeah. Go ahead.
See, now Elson sir was discussing about core temperature and Anil Joseph sir mentioned about mass concreting. So that is also a good topic to discuss under these hot weather conditions, mass concreting. So see, let us try to define what is mass concrete. See, suppose in the least dimension, more than 1 meter, simply. So we have dimensions, and the least dimension, if it is more than 1 meter or 0.9 centimeter, we can just say it as mass concreting. In mass concreting, the curing technique is entirely different.
Right.
That was Elson sir's point, because the core temperature, allowed temperature in many of the specification is, as he rightly mentioned, 71, 72 degrees Celsius. And suppose the temperature gradient between that core and the surface is very important. If it is too high, then thermal cracking will happen, because differential because of that temperature, the thermal cracking will happen, which will destroy the structure. That is also. And one live example from Cochin. One time we had a concrete of around 500 meter cube, mass concreting, raft concreting. And after finishing, when we visited there, what we saw is they are just trying to make some pond, means a bund, to pond the water. That is actually totally wrong. What they are doing, they are immediately reducing the temperature of the top. So suppose, example, the core temperature is 70 degrees and the surface temperature now it is 40 degrees. Suppose they are immediately curing with water, means that surface temperature will come down and the differential will be high. So that will create a big issue. So isolation technique that has to be adopted. So what all things which we discussed in curing in normal concrete is different than that of mass concreting.
Dr. Elson John, what is the role of admixtures in this regard to control the heat of temperature?
Heat of temperature. One, superplasticizer will help in giving you higher workability and workability retention without increasing the water content. Second is set controlling admixtures. That means the retarder I mentioned earlier. If you are adding that, it will actually reduce the hydration of the cement. So the setting time will be delayed. So formwork removal, everything will be affecting with that. So again, the initial hydrations are reduced because cement hydration is exothermic, it will generate heat. So if you are adding a retarder, it will reduce the temperature of the concrete. Again, how much you want to extend it, the dosage or the chemical, we can adjust it. So always using a superplasticizer with a retarder will help in hot weather concreting.
Dr. Anil Joseph, is it possible to change the design mix in real time as the temperature and other?
Yeah, I just read the question. It's a very interesting and a very
Mr. G.
important question
Satish
in
has
this
asked
discussion.
this,
Definitely, say mixed design, or that is the beauty of civil engineering, which is called as the mother of all engineering, because it has to be adopted based on the circumstances. So that's a very important thing. Don't blindly follow what you get. The mixed design is, like pointed out by Shaiju during the discussion, it is being done under controlled condition in the laboratory. A very important question where he has pointed out the use of artificial intelligence to measure the temperature and correct accordingly. Yes, that is the need of the hour. That is where the technology is going to take us. And it's only a guidelines. Don't blindly follow the mixed design. It is on specific thing based on the components which you are getting, the type of cement you are using. You have to verify that it is under control and ensure that what is the variation happening from the controlled condition to what is happening here and has to be changed accordingly. Like during a rain is there, the water component on the fine aggregates will be higher. So you have to reduce the water accordingly. On a very hot temperature, we have to reduce the, we have to add water to take care of the high temperature component. So all this has to be worked out, and mixed design has to be dynamically changed according to the situation. And I would like to answer another question also, which I just read in the chat or in Q&A, that was of having the layered concreting. That's a very important thing. When you are having a mass concreting, you have to go in for layered concreting. Suppose you have to do a 1 meter concreting. So instead of putting 1 meter concreting at one particular point on a stretch, first do 30 centimeter concrete, then come with the next layer, so that initial some sort of setting or some gap will be there, so that the load distribution will also be uniform. And in layer you can start construction, but make sure that the cold joint is not formed. Before that, you have to make sure that the second pour is coming in. So you have to ensure that. But layered concreting is also a very good suggestion to control the temperature. Can be applied during high temperature. Also, when you are having mass concrete, especially on a supporting formwork, where the load distribution also has to be made uniform, because most of the failures happening due to shutter, due to that. So that can be prevented also by stage concreting.
All right, thank you.
1 second, let me. So when regarding the mixed design, so normally the mixed design will be, the water content will be specified at aggregates at the saturated surface dry conditions. So for all the trial mixes in the field, if the aggregates are dry, full dry or partially wet, the moisture content has to be found out and the water cement ratio should be adjusted. In rainy season, there will be free surface moisture that also has to be determined, and the water content should be altered accordingly. That is mandatory for any mixed design, because in lab condition, the mixed design will be doing, or the result will be given by assuming the aggregates are saturated surface dry. So that alteration has to be done at site, as Anil sir was mentioning.
Dr. Alson, actually, Engineer Shaiju, would you like to add anything to it?
Yeah, this is a very good point by Elson sir and Anil Joseph sir. If somebody wants that, we can give them a Excel sheet wherein they just put the values, they can adjust that moisture correction. Because now rain is going to come. If somebody wants, we can share that so that everybody will get it. What they want to do is they want to just check the moisture content in their aggregate. Just put that value, and they should know the water absorption. A question, I think some question was regarding water absorption of aggregates, right?
Yes.
So that value we have to already mention, then make the corrections. And according to me, that Elson sir, Anil Joseph sir, everybody, the final content will be, some variation will be there, but the total mass will be same. That is what is called moisture correction. The basic design is SSD. SSD means saturated surface dry. It's an ideal condition. We will never going to get aggregates in SSD condition. So every day we have to make this correction. If anybody interested, we can give them an Excel format. Just find out the value, put it. They will get the corrections accordingly.
Well, the last 10 minutes, all three of you have a chance to add to your values. And the controlling part of it. How do we control it? How are we going to tackle this issue? Dr. Anil Joseph, we'll start from you.
Yeah, generally we, as pointed out, so there was a question whether is it okay to do concreting on a hot temperature? Like pointed out by Elson sir, if it's a extremely hot day, don't go for concreting during the daytime. Go for plant the concrete during the night time, so that the temperature will come down. And then precautionary measures post pre-concreting, which we mentioned, that wetting the surfaces, applying protection for the shading, covering of the aggregates. So when we are doing the concreting, also the type of cement which we are using, we can control. And if needed, going for ice flakes or other admixtures to bring down the temperature of the concrete also can be adopted during that. And according to me, post-concrete is the most important item which they have to, which we are missing out a lot. When the problem comes only, we start reacting to that. Make sure that the curing process is properly done. Membrane curing is not very expensive nowadays. It's quite commonly used in many of our projects. So it will soon catch in the market. So even that polythene layer is there. So as soon as the initial setting is over, we can start going for sprinkling of water. And then very common thing which we use, gunny bags now. Wet gunny bags is provided so that the temperature is not climbing up, and it is always we just wet the gunny bag so that the temperature will be under control. So these are the few suggestions which I would like to add on to the discussion.
Engineer Shaiju.
Yeah, all the points are now covered by Anil Joseph sir. The thing is that hot weather, one of the main problem is cracks, that means plastic shrinkage cracks, right? And if you see the environmental conditions, the three main villains are: one, ambient temperature, which we don't have any direct control; high wind velocity, we don't have any direct control. Of course, we can have some wind barriers, but that is, I don't know how much effective that will be. And humidity, low humidity. Some studies shows that a concrete, suppose a temperature of concrete is 40 degrees Celsius, humidity 80. The other case, I'm just giving an example. The temperature of concrete is 30. So we know temperature of concrete less means it is good. But relative humidity also coming down. That will give the same shrinkage cracks. That is the point. It is a combination of this humidity and this temperature. So the thing is that we have to take all necessary precautions before doing, because shrinkage cracks, we know what is the villain. We know there are solutions. There are ways and means to tackle that. The solutions already discussed. So adopt that. That is my point.
I think Dr. Elson is not there. He has some technical issues. Well, Dr. Anil Joseph has mentioned about the curing, beginning of curing. Actually, in the olden days, we used to start curing a day after the concrete was poured. How significant is this? Because to the layman's perception, still it is a day after the concrete. How significant? What is the importance of starting the curing immediately after the initial setting time?
Yeah, it's because now previously we used to have 33 grade cement, and as the cement industry evolved in the last, say, 20 years, our gain of strength of the cements is considerably improved. 43, 53, now even fancy numbers are coming where the cement strength is so high. So what it points out is that more rapid is the strength formation. So that is why the importance of going for blended cement, because blended cement means where we are replacing the Portland cement by fly ash and cement slag. So that is where we can control the temperature. So the point is that practically we will have to look into these aspects when we are selecting the things.
Well, Dr. Elson, would you like to add to it? That point?
So we can do one or two simple things also, because if it's a hot weather, one thing we can do is we can have some wind breaks by giving some shades or plastic sheets you can keep it on the side so that the wind velocity can be prevented, so that evaporation from the surface can be reduced. So,
well, Dr. Alson, actually, I'm sorry to interrupt. Actually, can you include the term blended cement also in your answer, so that the beginners can also understand what exactly it is?
Okay, so when the cement, the initial hydration will be the OPC. The normal cement will hydrate fast. So if you are adding a mineral cement or a blending material, we will normally call it as supplementary cementitious material. So what happens? First, cement will react, and calcium hydroxide and calcium silicate hydrate will produce. This mineral admixture will react with the calcium hydroxide to produce additional CSH, which will give you the binding property. But this reaction is slow. So what happens is that you will get more strength and durability in the long term, but in the initial stages, the heat of hydration also will be less. So in that way, the blended cement, or cement is blending, that can be PPC or PSC, or we can blend this supplementary cementitious material at the ready mix plant also to control the temperature of the concrete.
All right. Yeah. We are actually ahead of. Yeah. Anybody want to add to it?
One simple thing, that's the wind breaks I was talking about. Just give a wind break so that the wind will not directly blow on the surface of the concrete, so the evaporation will be less. Again, the direct sunshine also will not fall, so you will get a shade. That also will help in reduce the temperature of the concrete slightly.
Yeah, well, you have few minutes more to add anything if you want. Actually, anybody want to add to it?
Yeah, I think few persons have raised hands, so if we can have the questions, we can answer that. Maybe it's a bit, there is ordinary Portland cement and blended cement. So blended cement is the one where we add fly ash or cement slags, which is pointed out, because there was a question in chat which were what is blended cement. So this is that where we'll be adding additional element which will increase the durability and reduce the initial temperatures. So that is what is called blended cement. So generally fly ash and cement slag are added in different proportion as per the ISPOT guidelines.
Yeah, Mr. Viparthi Rajesh has raised his hand. Can we allow him to talk?
Yeah, if somebody wants to, because this is something.
Mr. Viparthi, you hear us?
He muted his, I think.
Fine, then it's all right. Because if some questions can be answered in this sort of forum, it will be better for the entire audience and right to understand. That was my take on that. Yeah. Sure.
I think he hears us. 1 second. Mr. Viparthi?
His mic is muted.
Okay.
I think participants' raise can be seen here. That's right.
Yes. Mr. Prashant Yerunkar.
I think everybody is muted other than Jarin Jacob and Rakesh Prajapati. All the rest are muted.
Yeah, Mr. Rajesh Pratap. We'll go to Rakesh Prajapati. Mr. Rakesh is also muted. Mr. Rakesh, are you there?
So all of you, please check the left side of your window.
My voice is clear.
There is a mic window.
Yeah, he's there.
Hello?
Mr. Rakesh?
My voice is audible?
Yeah. Go ahead, Rakesh.
Okay. My question is, how much time after create cold joint from placing of the concrete? Means how to identify this cold joint period?
Come again, Mr. Rakesh. Can you repeat the question again?
My question is, how much time after create cold joint from time of placing of concrete?
Yeah. I understood, Rajesh. It's a very important question, because his question is that how much time is the duration when the cold joint will form. Especially we were talking about layered concreting and the other aspects where we can do the first concrete, and before the second cold joint form, we have to continue with the concrete. So generally, it again depends upon the type of concrete which you are using, type of cement which you are using, the temperature of day and all other aspects. But generally, they 30 to 45 minutes. So what you have to do is that you have to do a little bit of vibration on the surfaces where we are leaving it, so that between 30 to 45 minutes, if we come back and do that, the cold joint won't be formed, and with a slight disturbance on the top surface, you can go for the next layer of concrete. Rajesh, very interesting question.
Means
Rakesh,
3 to 4.
Rakesh, if you want to extend it, you can do that. The setting of time, you can retard the setting of the time if you want more time. But you have to design your concrete accordingly.
Engineer Shaijner, yeah.
You can extend it to 2 or 3 hours if you want. But that depends upon how you design your mix. Normal thing, what Anil sir was telling, it is 30 to 45 minutes.
30 to 45 minutes, sir.
Again, that depends upon how much cement content you are doing, what is the ambient concentration, what is the mix proportion, all this depends upon. But normal, what we are talking about, a 25-30 grade of concrete, normal thing in normal temperature, around 25 to 30, 32 degrees centigrade, normally what we are observing is around 30 to 40 minutes.
So my second question is, if I cast a rough foundation, his height is 1.5 meter, greater than 1.5 meter. In my core temperature is 17 degrees Celsius. So what I reduce my core temperature? How to reduce my core temperature?
Okay, in cold climate, normally if it is 17 degrees centigrade, it won't be a problem because the temperature will be low. But the only thing is that the initial rate of hydration is less, so initial strength will be little lower. If you want, you can accelerate it with the accelerators, but that will create the microstructure problems, or the durability of the structure can be adopted. If you want to increase it, we can. Otherwise, 17 degrees centigrade is fine.
Means, my question is, if 70 degrees above greater than, so how to we reduce? If core temperature is above 70 degrees, 75 degrees, 80 degrees is goal. How to, what that time is reduced? Is there any method? At that time, suppose my core temperature is 80 degrees, so what time, what we do to reduce the temperature?
See, I think his question is how to reduce the temperature, how to reduce the core temperature, right?
Yeah.
So, 80
see,
degrees Celsius is good enough.
Now, so see, there are methods to reduce the temperature, some piping arrangements, some application of some
Rain
liquid,
circulation.
yeah, circulation, everything. But my humble request is that mass concrete, we have to do more precaution. We have to calculate the temperature of concrete, and we have to adopt all the methods which we discussed. And in the concluding session, finally, what we are going to, we will just brief what we discussed. That means we will just give a guidelines for hot weather concreting. So go through that. That itself is sufficient to control, means to control the temperature to a certain extent.
All right. I believe it is time to conclude. It's already 12 o'clock, actually. Your concluding notes on the topic. We'll start from Dr. Elson.
Yeah, okay. So what we discussed so far, first one we started with to control design. One is moisten the subgrade steel and the formwork. Then we can go for cold aggregates or water. Then we can go for blended cements or mineral admixtures in concrete. We can go for admixtures like Superplus is a retarder, and we have to start the curing as early as possible and cover the concrete. So these are some of the simple things, even windbreaks. And sometimes in addition to that, if you want extremely hot weather, you can go for fogging of the area also will help, because the evaporation will be thin. So these are the simple things. The most important is to start the curing as early as possible, control the temperature of the ingredients of the concrete. Then we can go for good quality, or go for the blended cements.
Dr. Anil Joseph, your take on it.
Yeah, I think more or less we have covered. It's a vast subject, and I'm very happy. And I would like to thank Construction Philosophy and DH Academy to organize this event, and thank Dr. Elson John also to joining this sort of forums, because I can see the question still pouring in. And there are 17 questions, and there are so many questions which is being unanswered also. So I think in this sort of decision in the future, we will give more time for panel discussion. And then there is one question which I just saw there. What is GGBS? So ground granulated blast furnace slag is generally used as a blending agent. So that is what there are a number of questions coming in, which shows that our purpose of serving to the of this coming up with this presentation is quite useful for our engineering community. Thank you all, and more or less we have covered the area. It's a vast subject. There can be a number of questions, and definitely please send all the details. And as Shaiju pointed out, we will be on behalf of Construction Philosophy and DH Academy, we will be coming out with a release of material which will be shared by the Construction Philosophy to all the participants who is registered in.
Engineer Shaiju Nair.
Yeah, all the points are covered by Elson sir and Anil Joseph sir's remarks also. And I'll just few points which is left out in the sense to add that night concreting or the time of concrete means early morning or late night, and importance of curing we discussed. The importance of curing, when to cure, there are different methods, and dampen the surface, especially that reinforcement, everything we discussed. I'm not repeating what Elson sir already discussed. So if we adopt all these methods, we can say guidelines. This guideline, the symbol paper that can be distributed to all, I think. So if you follow that, generally, then naturally the hot weather, we can control that effects of hot weather to a certain extent. And thanks for organizing such a very good discussion. Thanks Anil Joseph sir and Elson sir also, because no, now only I recognize question and answer is coming there in the bottom. I am not familiar with this Zoom platform.
Yes.
So now I can see around 17 questions. That shows the interest. That's actually the purpose. See, always we believe that, application of knowledge is wisdom. Now we need wisdom. We know knowledge. We know what is what and when to apply. Now that application part is very important. For that, such panel discussions will definitely help all of us to gain some additional knowledge. Thank you very much.
One last quick point I would like to add is that some of the questions were very thought-provoking, especially I don't know who have put that question of dynamic change of mix and application of artificial intelligence in coming up with the design mix at site. Very thought-provoking questions, and
yes.
Thank the person. I don't recollect the name. Thanks the person in particular, and thank all the participants, because it was so lively and so interesting question. And in fact, I have a few points to take back by coming to this presentation, and that's something, a value addition which we got by sitting in this panel.
Construction Philosophy for making a platform to discuss with the fellow engineers. So thank you, Construction Philosophy and DH Academy. And in addition to that, especially Shaiju also can do. Last time I have seen lots of questions in the Facebook Live also. Last time I tried to reply some of these. I think we can give some replies to there also. So thank you, Construction Philosophy and DH Academy, for making a platform like that. And hopefully you will come up with much more platforms like this for future discussions also. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Well, I would like to thank the professional panel, Dr. Elson John, Dr. Anil Joseph, and Engineer Shaiju Nair for being here. And I would thank the attendees, all the viewers for being so active and seeing the responses, as Dr. Anil Joseph has mentioned. We believe that the purpose of our initiative is being met. So we, the viewers can write to us at mail@constructionphilosophy.com for any further assistance. Our expert panelists are always willing to support you, help you in your profession. And thank you, panelists, once again, and thank you, viewers. We'll see you in the next session. Thank you so much. Good day.